Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another costume videos. Now, of course, we're going to be doing our top 10 most ranked costumes. I do apologise, it is like a couple of days late, but the reason is, I've been busy all this week, and I am still busy all this week. So I'm hoping to make this video quite quickly, and hopefully it should be uploaded by midnight. Right, so we may as well just get stuck into it, because, I mean, no point, I'm busy. Right, so number 10 for me on this list is actually the Devil Flanders. Now, the reason I put Devil Flanders here is because mainly I think honestly overall it is a really cool costume, and a really original one from a really memorable Halloween episode. And that is the main reason I've put it as number 10. You know, I think the quests in it are actually really, the tasks in it are actually really cool. And honestly, I think it just all round is a pretty, not a perfect costume, but I think it's a pretty cool costume. You know, I just want to quickly say before I move on to number 9, mainly most of these choices come down to looks, and I know, I try and do like sort of iconic things and for iconic episodes, but like most of the time I just don't care, you know, I don't care about iconic episodes because a lot of them, I mean, well I do, but see, a lot of the episodes that people like, I don't particularly like, but there obviously are some. Anyway, moving on. Number 9 is McBain. Now, people are probably going to be a bit annoyed at my McBain choice. Problem I have with this, or the reason I actually like the McBain costume, I don't like the level. For a starter, I don't like the level, but the actual costume itself, I do like. It would probably be higher, to be honest, if it wasn't for the level. The level's kind of brought it down. However, I mean, it's not the worst level, I mean, but to separate them was a bit of a crappy move, but I do think that Rainier Wolfcastle and McBain, you know, McBain's the fictional character, and Wolfcastle's actually also the fictional character, but he's not the fictional character in the Simpsons universe, is he? And that's why I think, I'm okay with them, you know, making them two separate things, because one's fictional in the fictional world and one's non-fictional in the fictional Simpsons, whatever. But I'm actually happy they did that, and I am kind of happy they actually added it quite quickly. But in another way, I kind of think they could have left it off for a bit, and they could have added it later on. They could have added it in the superheroes update. I don't think that would have been totally out of place. I think that would have made sense there. Anyway, moving on. Number 8, I've gone with Bearstein Wiggum. Now, again, like I said, most of these lists, it's going to come down to looks. And honestly, I think it is a really cool costume. I do remember the episode it's from. However, I know it's not really a memorable episode itself, so I'm not going to give it points for that. But what I'm going to give it points for is creativity. You know, it was added on the Oktoberfest, which has never been done before. They've never done an Oktoberfest before, and I like it when they do new updates for new events. When they actually did the Easter update, although the Easter update was absolutely appalling, I was glad because it was the very first time that they've ever done an Easter update. Bearstein Wiggum, I mean, yeah, first time they've ever done Oktoberfest. Didn't particularly like the Oktoberfest. I thought it could have been done a bit better. But overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the Bearstein Wiggum costume, although it was a bit expensive because obviously it was a Gil offer. And all Gil offers is expensive, really. Apart from the school promotional update, I still think to this day that's the best one. Anyway, moving on. Number 7, I've gone with Lady Duff. Something I actually found out, I believe Duffman is actually gay.
Turns out he's bisexual. I got it wrong. Don't kill me.
I didn't know that, and I nothing against him. I just find it's really weird. I didn't expect him to be gay. But anyway, moving on. Obviously, he's got his crossover his Lady Duff, so to speak. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Again, it comes down to looks. It's Duffman completely redone, isn't it? And it's not like he usually goes around strutting as a woman, so it makes sense to make it an extra costume. And it was probably one of my favorite. It was definitely my favorite costume in the whole Tap Ball event for sure. I think it was the funniest one as well, and I was pretty chuffed when I got it. I actually did like it. Anyway, moving on. Number 6, I've gone with Mr. Plow. I mean, okay, I know it's not the most exciting costume, but I couldn't not put it on my list for a starter. It's such a funny costume, and I mean, it's just so iconic to Homer's character, and I just think that they couldn't not add it, and it couldn't not be on this list because although the actual costume itself is very kind of bland, it's so iconic to me, and the episode with the Mr. Plow and the Plow King, to me, is one of my most favourite episodes, especially my favourite Christmas episode, definitely my favourite Christmas episode by far. It's just cool, and that's the main reason it's there. And obviously, coming in at number 5 is the Plough King, and it's actually come above the actual Mr. Plough. The reason is, honestly, I just prefer the look of the Plough King. It looks a bit more funnier. You know, it's a bit more kind of stand out than the Mr. Plough. And plus, I never use Mr. Plough costume as much as I like to. It's just I always have Homer either on as default or whatever the heck event's going on, which I need him. You know, like in the minute I think he's got his fireman costume on, even though that was pretty much over. But whatever. Yeah, but I think the Plough King is pretty cool. Overall, really cool costume. I mean, there's not really much. It just kind of comes down to, you know, the iconicness. Iconicness? Is that a word? I don't know. It comes down to the, you know, the episode it was in. Moving on. Number 4. I've gone with The Collector. Again, from another one of my favourite episodes. One of my favourite Halloween episodes. The one where, obviously, comic book man is the collector, and he's collecting people. I think he collects, like, Doctor Who, and obviously he collects Xena, doesn't he? And also, I think Bart and Lisa, obviously, Clobber Girl, and Clobber Girl, I think it's Stretch Boy? I don't know. I don't remember Bart's name, but I definitely think they should add those. They should have added those in the superheroes update, actually, but I guess they had, obviously, Bartman and that. But whatever. Yeah, that was a really cool episode again, an episode I really enjoyed. So the Collector, for me, I just thought it was a necessary costume, and actually, to be honest with you, the tasks in it are pretty cool as well. The quest line wasn't amazing. I did try and read that because like I said, I really love the Collector, but they weren't that amazing. But yeah, I was actually wanting them to add the Collector costume for comic book guy even, literally right from the start. Like when comic book guy was first invented. Well, when I first unlocked him, I really wanted to see you know, a costume for him, for the Collector costume, and they eventually added that. Anyway, moving on. Number 3, I've gone with Pie-Man Homer. Now, of course, I had to add Pie-Man Homer because. Mainly because I just think it's my favourite Homer costume. It's just a really cool costume overall, and I think it is really iconic. I remember, and I've talked about this before, but I used to, you know, a lot of the time I used to read the comics, and the comics tends to do a lot of this, you know, the superhero stuff as well. The Simpsons comics, they tend to do the superhero stuff quite a bit, and with Pie-Man and Bartman and all that, and I just think overall the Pie-Man was really funny, and the actual costume itself I was really happy to get, and it's just so funny how Homer's Pie-Man. Anyway, moving on. Number 2, I've gone with the Shadow Knight costume. I know, kill me, I've done it. Now, although this was don't want to swear, this is family friendly. This was a boatload. That's a more appropriate word. Boatload of donuts. The problem I have with it is it's just, well, no, even though it's a boatload of donuts, not a problem. I still love it. I still love the costume, even though it was too many donuts, I think. The costume itself is just, it was the one thing in the Clash of Clones events that I actually liked. It was probably the one thing I was really happy with, and it just completely transforms Bart into a fictional character, and that's what I like. I like it when they kind of do the fictional character thing, and I talk about it quite a lot. I talked about it quite a lot in this, you know, with the bit, with McBain, and you know, with I guess with the Collector and Pie-Man as well. It's turning someone who kind of plays that fictional character into the fictional character in the fictional world of Springfield, but you know, you get the gist. And I've talked about it before. If you want to go look at the Bart one for a full explanation about why I picked the Shadow King as my number 1 costume. But yeah, I mean, just overall think it's cool, and the tasks in it are cool, and I mean, overall it's just a badass costume. Anyway, number 1. You might have guessed it because of my rank lists, but we'll have that drum roll anyway. It's the U.B.O. costume for Mr. Burns. Some people are going to disagree with me. I know, straight off the bat. Right. Okay, again, probably I say this, but I don't know about the U.B.O. episode, but I probably have to say it is my favourite. It's definitely my top 3, okay? It's definitely my top 3. I always say that this is my favourite episode, but the earlier seasons of The Simpsons, honestly, I love them. I mean, I love most of the episodes in them. a lot of none of the later seasons I particularly like, and I mean I know that's kind of like the mainstream view now of Simpsons. The later ones are awful, but I mean I truly do not like I can't even it's actually a chore for me to watch actually some of the like the most recent episodes for me. I feel like are a chore to watch. And that's why I actually skip a couple. Some of them, it's kind of turned into like a drama, or like a soap almost. But again, U.B.O, really cool episode. The whole Mr. Burns, alien thing again retransforms Mr. Burns. Retransforms, yeah. It kind of reforms his look, which I think is just really cool. And overall, I think it's just a cool costume, and it's just really cool to have going around the town. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's really it. That's all I got to say about it. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much my video. If you want to go see a more kind of in-depth thought of why I picked the U.B.O as my best Mr. Burns costume, please go watch my ranked Mr. Burns costumes where I talk about it in a bit more detail. At least I think I do. Sorry, like I said, I'm in a kind of a bit of a rush, so sorry I didn't go into as much depth. I mean, I tried to go into as much depth as I could. I've just got quite a lot of work to do this week because I've got exams coming up for the A-levels, which is never good. So anyway, guys, I shall see you next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.